And then we'll have a discussion panel. We'll talk about some game development related topics. So let's start with the presentation. And the first presentation is from Andrejs Pelipenko, and he will tell us about blockchain cuties and token usage in games. So please, Andrejs. Please turn on your microphone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please allow to share screen.
Yeah. So security, share screen, yes.
Okay, yes, it's good. So I will share my screen. Okay. So my name is Andrei Pelipenko, and I am founder and CTO of Blockchain Game, and I will tell you about token usage in game. So what we achieved so far, we have first game with 5 supported blockchains, and we have a lot of another rewards. So our vision is to make world decentralized, so that one company or 10 companies can't control everything. About game assets. In classical games, assets are stored in database, and it's weak place because it's stored in one place. Data center can be burned out and your data can be lost. Your data can be banned or changed or deleted by admins. User can transfer their assets to another account if it is not allowed by rules, and vice versa. In blockchain, all data stored in blockchain is decentralized manner, and it can be banned or changed by admins. But user at any time can transfer or sold their assets. For example, if you want to exit from some game, you can just sold all your assets and you will be in profit. And history can be changed in blockchain, so you can see all the transactions that was connected to your tokens or your assets. And in our game, anybody can create new token with all tokens have some uniqueness. For example, there is open market called OpenSea. It contains a lot of assets from different kinds of games. For example, here in screenshot we have 4 assets from 3 different games, and people can sell and buy their tokens. How it's achieved? All contracts on Ethereum blockchain supports this ERC721 protocol, and it describes how tokens can be transferred, and all software supports it. For example, our game has contracts. I will show you a real example. This is our contract, blockchain Cuties core. We can see a list of transactions that are currently in progress and already mined. We have contract. This is contract source code. Anyone can check this source code and see that it does the same that we write in our text. So this function, for example, function total supply returns total number of tokens on this blockchain, and I can check, for example, what is the owner of token number 123. Query. The owner is this address. And get Qt returns information about token. So it has some genome, burst time in Unix format, cooldown when it can be breeded next time, mom token ID, dad token ID, and so on. Here example of one transaction. It is breed transaction. We see, it's a create sell auction. So some user creates auction and want to sell this token. This is token identificator, start price, end price, and duration in seconds. And bunch of logs are generated. So it's transferred to another contract, and auction is created. So next, I'll show you how Qt is looking like on our website. Has some image, some operation buttons, some battle parameters. So every Qt has a genome. Genome is corresponding for visual how it's looking like, and also for battle bonuses. When new token is created, every hex in genome is created from mom or dad. For example, this is a real token, a real genome example. So how this genome is decoded? We have wiki page that describes all this magic. I will show you something in example. So we see that first 7 char is 0, 7 corresponding to hair, mustache is 8 char, for this genome it's 5. So we have a bunch of rules, and see if base is 4, eyes primary 3, and so on, so on, so on. That special fancy is Kindex, and it has special attribute custom Qt. And in other document, in a config file, we have information that if it's custom Qt, it has such modifiers for attack, defense, and so on. So this was already seen by us. So the last part is that using these body parts, we can construct any SVG from parts. So I'll switch to if some cat has hair back number 1, this group is taking. And we take all these groups from SVG and construct visual appearance of Qt. And every Qt is unique because it has unique genome. Genome has some randomness, and some players achieve the goal to construct using breeding some very nice looking Cuties. And here are some examples of nice looking. This first, and this is second. So that's all. Currently we are hiring. We need some game designer or developer. So if you are interested, you can contact me. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, does anybody has any questions? So for me, the one question would be like fundamental. So if I register in your game and start to play it, how will I see the difference? So what's the first thing that I will see? Okay, this is not a centralized mobile game. What will be the first thing that will really be different with the blockchain?
Okay, I will show you that I have this take any Qt. At first, you should have some money on blockchain to buy first Qt.
So is it like an existing blockchain, like Bitcoin or your blockchain?
We use common blockchain Ethereum. On this Ethereum runs a lot of smart contracts. Yeah?
So these scripts, those contracts are Ethereum contracts, right?
Yes. And this
Okay.
is Etherscan
Okay.
IO, and this is common site for all transactions.
Okay.
When for example, I will show you example how I can breed Qt. I take one Qt, I take another Qt. This is Tron blockchain, not Ethereum. It is, no, it's not working.
So you support more than one blockchain, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because different blockchains have some specifics. For example, now Tron is cheaper than Ethereum.
Okay.
Have Neo, no, has some specific.
So you are actually playing with real money, right?
Yes.
And you can lose your Ethereum or win, right? Based on how strong.
You spend money for buying, and then you can sell this. You can create new Qts and sell them. You can.
Oh, you cannot lose your.
Yeah, you cannot lose. Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
It's not gambling at all. It's collectible game. Like.
And what's
Yes.
okay?
You.
What's
Do
the
you know,
benefit of winning? So why do you have to win?
For example, I take Qt and go with it to adventure.
Yeah.
Where it's adventure and to adventure. For example, Snow Mountain. Yes. I lost. But when I
Okay.
win, I can find some items and I can sell these items on market.
Oh.
I can sell.
And do those items have a value?
Yes. And if you got a rare item, if you have a powerful Qt, you go to powerful adventure and you can find a powerful item and sell it for example, what's the expensive? It's sold for 1 Ethereum, yes? 1,000, more than $1,000.
Okay.
This item is sold. It's real money, and some players get money from our game.
Okay. And where does this money like come from? So you find items. That means that somebody has to give him that item, right?
Yes, you can go to marketplace and buy it. Yeah, monies are not taken from anywhere. It's taken from other players. So other players can buy your items or your Qts.
Do you have some sort of fee for each transaction?
Yes, we take 4% for item market.
Okay.
Okay.
While I'm asking something, so did I understand correctly? You need to buy the very first Qt, right?
You can get one for free, but it's not blockchain. It's it's stored in database for demonstration purposes. You can breed them and go to powerful adventures. You can try with this free one, and then you should buy some chips, for example, from marketplace. For example,
do you have like any plans for going further and making like bigger games from blockchain? And do you see
our game? We have raid bosses here. We have tournaments that many players are fighting PvP, which is with each other. Yes.
And do you think blockchain could be also used in other genres, like maybe I don't know, first-person shooter games?
Dapradar is something like store or analytics for blockchain games. We have games. We can select. Where's games? Top 5 games in this world.
Oh, okay.
At most, it has gambling games, yes, but also collectibles and fight games also.
Do you see that blockchain games could any day become mainstream?
Maybe. we think yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of have a question. like years ago I watched this like I guess it's a presentation by Extra Credits, and they were like talking that you can create a sword like in one game with blockchain, and then you can use this the same sword in another game. I'm just thinking how realistic that idea is. For example, to use a
Yeah.
blockchain Qt in another blockchain game.
Yes, it's is engine, I think, format. They invented 1155 protocol, and we support it. For example, these tokens are items that are stored in blockchain, and technically, anyone can use our contracts in their game. So any of you can create own game and use our smart contract, or we can use another game's smart contract here. And if I something withdraw token from game to smart contract, then I can use it in another game. It's technically not a problem.
I saw that you showed the smart contract code. It looked really long. Like, how do you control that people are actually not scamming each other by changing something in the code? And you thought that it is one code, but that it does something different. Do you have to always read that code so to know that there are no?
It's very good to read code, yes, and or take an audit and place that some good company created an audit for this code.
Oh,
This
okay.
code can be changed. So as Arcan, when I deploy contract, I also deploy smart contract. Arcan compiles it and see if the binary is the same.
Okay.
So I can't change anything now here.
Okay.
This was your question, yeah?
Yeah, like if we have so you have to trust the company, right, who approves that this contract hasn't been changed, right?
Like in other open source software, yes. Nothing better was invented, I think. Or you can read this code by yourself. So I see the function, for example, set approval for all. Yeah, I see that there is no any backdoor here. So it's just checks and do something with internal data, and they create the event.
Can this game be played by non-programmers? How do you think, or it's you have to know programming to play it?
Of course, we have all our game interfaces allows to play simply players without some programming skills.
So those contracts are predefined, right? And
yes, contracts are for 3 years are deployed. It's working okay. So I think most of half players don't see this as Arcan at all. I show you to show the internal how it's working. Any other questions?
Yeah, so you showed that each Cutie is defined by their DNA, right? By their genome.
Yes, yes.
And so if you wanted to introduce like a new design, a new type of Cutie with a different look, is that possible?
Yes, sometimes we create new races. For example, we have pigs, and we just add a new, where was this wiki page? Animal type, yeah. We have 2 charts, so we have 200, more than 200 variants. Now we have, I think, 6 types of animals. We can create new, and here will be not 0, but 7, 8, and so on.
So you designed the genome with space for additional traits or races.
We have 2 types of genomes. Some are random, it constructed from SVG files that I show you, and some special cuties that are predefined. For example, if here, Maru. If all these rules are true, yes, the tail is 7, body is 4, mouse is 0, this special Maru SVG will be taken. And every month we create and publish new special cuties and sell them here on special sale.
And they were not possible before to generate randomly.
These cuties can be generated randomly, yes.
Oh, but before they weren't. I mean, before you introduced this particular creature. From randomizing, when you breed a cutie, you couldn't have had this combination before, right?
Yes, if new genome, for example, genome number 9, yes, can be created from scratch. It must be taken from mother or dead. Yes.
Okay.
If it not exists, so it will not appear.
Oh, there was never such a mother before, so you could never have gotten this combination.
Yes.
I see. All right. Thank you.
Okay, that's a totally new world for me. So do we have any other questions? Like I see that we don't have any on YouTube. Well, if we don't have any questions, then thanks for the presentation. It was really interesting. And let's move on with the discussions. Thank you. So, so let me turn on the presentation.
Elvis, share your screen.
Yeah, I will do that.
Oh, okay.
Let me just start the presentation. Okay, so. Okay, I guess I will not be able to see you during the presentation, but that's okay. So, okay. So, Jans, do you have permissions to accept new users?
I don't know if you gave them to me.
If I quit, so it asked me to quit Zoom. If I quit, will it end the meeting?
I think it will, but you can promote me, I guess, by clicking on my like triple dots. I actually don't know, but I think that's how it works.
Make host. Okay, I will make you host.
Oh, I have all the power now. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm the
So
host
you are
now.
now the. Yeah. Cool. So now I can restart.
Him right away. Kick him while you can.
Kick Ellis now. Okay. Gallery view. Okay, let's do gallery view for time being. Well, Ellis gets back. Actually, I have no clue how to control Zoom. This will be fun for me. I think I should accept him if he wants to join, or there should be a notification or something.
I think you're confusing stressful with fun.
No, it's fine. He's back.
Okay, so do you hear me? And do you see?
Yeah, I can hear you and I can see you.
Okay, so now I can share my screen.
Spotlight for everyone. Okay, cool. Let's do this. Awesome.
So do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start a discussion. Anybody on YouTube or anywhere else, you could just find our link on. Is it in YouTube description? Should be, right?
Yeah, it's in the YouTube description. I also posted it in chat.
Yeah. So just click the link and join the Zoom call, and you can join our discussion. So this time we will talk about sharing the development process of your game on different platforms. So the first we should get like why do you want to do that? And I thought of 4 reasons why you would like to share the development process. So first is obviously marketing. So you promote your game by sharing the development process and attracting new followers to your game. The other is to get new ideas from guys that actually follow the development process, like from the comments maybe on YouTube or Reddit or maybe from chats on Twitch or somewhere else. Another reason would be to actually get help, because people nowadays are really open to helping. If you see the open source community, like on GitHub or anywhere else, people are doing crazy amount of job of work without any pay. So I think if somebody is really interested in your project and sees the development, and he can give his opinion or maybe actually help you working on the game, and maybe even for free. And another reason is motivation. So I have been devlogging development of my games, and it actually motivates you to reach the milestones in time. To so when you talk about something, and when you say you will do something, and when you actually post status updates, you get this motivation to actually do that. And I think that's for indie developers who do that in free time, that can give you some more motivation. So what do you think? Do you think there are any other reasons, or do you think these reasons are strong enough to actually do that? What do you think?
I mean, I guess I can talk. I think yes, totally, because well, I recently watched a presentation by Anders on Kev, I think his name is, like in Nordic Game Conference, and he was talking about that. Well, the reason he does it is basically, yes, all that you mentioned, like to gain the following, and also like other reason might be that like endorphins, right? When you are making the game in like a Twitch stream and people are watching it, I think it gives you like, as you also said, like this motivation, and also you kind of involve other people to be invested in your project. For example, if they give you an idea and you as a developer implement that idea, like during this Twitch stream, I think that the guy whose idea got implemented will be like super excited and will follow the game and share the game more, right? I think that's like if one guy shares, like maybe some other people see that it's like very like boosts your indie game in a way, I think. And also like from a perspective of someone who like watches what happens on Twitter all the time, it's super cool to see like what people are working on. For example, like screenshot Saturdays, all those GIFs, and even if those projects fail, I need to admit people, I didn't know. Okay, even if those projects fail, you can still see like what was the process, like what they actually made. It's kind of a learning process, like a learning experience for someone who watches that. Well, that's my opinion of it. And I think if I will develop a game, I actually do stream if I do some jam games, for example, try jam. But if I will develop the game, I will definitely do it on like Twitch and share those screenshots to get the feedback also. Thank you. That's what I was saying.
For me, it's
Okay, so yeah.
for
Any
me it's
other-
basically marketing and just validating the direction.
Yeah. So then let's start. You mentioned Twitter. Let's start with Twitter. So I think Twitter is one of from all the platforms I have listed here that I could think of. Maybe you will have any others. So from all the platforms, I listed about 10 of them. Twitter, I think, takes the less effort. So it's 140 now. It's a bit more, like twice as more symbols. You just type something in, put some hashtags, like now Screenshot Saturday is pretty popular. Add maybe some picture, and that's it. So I think that doesn't take a lot of time, but I think what you put in and what you get out is really like huge. So you type those few symbols and put a screenshot, but what you get out is, if you are lucky, you get some response or some maybe retweets. We actually got pretty often we got retweets from Screenshot Saturday, and another thing is that those milestones. So you actually have this Saturday, or like maybe other guys do it on other days, but we did it every Saturday, and that was a really cool motivational thing that you did it. Because with all the other platforms that I have there, it takes so much time that it takes away time from the development. But Twitter is, I think it's a must do for every developer. Just put it, even if nobody reacts to that, just put it so that you are out there. Maybe you get lucky and somebody notices the game, but if not, at least you have milestones. So what do you think about that?
I totally agree, but the one thing is that you need to. It's better to post the tweets between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. At that time, Europe and USA they both are active at the same time. So
is it true? Like, I have not checked that, but is it true that if you get like some attention when you post it, you get better chances that it will go like not viral, but it will become more popular than if you post it in some time when nobody reads Twitter? Then it's gone. Like, you will not get any attention. Is that true, or?
Well,
Yes,
for me,
like
Twitter,
with most
yeah.
platforms.
Twitter operates on like pushing content that people are interacting with.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't display it like time-wise, but if nobody interacts with it, like it disappears. Like I imagine that there are at least a few profiles that you don't even see on your timeline at all, like when using Twitter, even if you do follow them and they are posting stuff.
So you should post at specific times to actually increase your chances, right?
With specific times and not just post. Like you mentioned that Twitter takes like no time and just posting like a picture is like the thing. Like yeah. I don't think that works like as a actual thing. It works for yourself, but like
yeah,
you want to engage people, you do need to spend quite a bit of time to like.
Of course, yeah. Like
make that
I
tweet.
What I thought was like the entry. If you want to just do that without anything, then it's the most, like the smallest effort. Of course, if you want to do that properly, it will take a lot of time. For example, streaming or posting videos on YouTube, it takes a lot of time, even if you just want to put something out, because you have to buy hardware and stuff like that. For Twitter, it's like zero effort to be there. Of course, if you want to do that properly, it will take lots of time.
I think Andrei or Vladimir might have had like tweets with biggest reach. Like, what has worked for you the most, like on Twitter, if that's not a secret?
I think that timing definitely helps. Like, if you want to get noticed, sorry about the birds. Like, if you want to get noticed, you just need to post it in the US
like
morning, so 7 p.m. And honestly, if you just don't want to spend a lot of time on it, I just suggest using the social network that you normally use, because for me, the tweets take like 40 minutes to prepare when I want to do like a proper tweet and engage it.
Yeah.
And yeah, even if it seems very seamless, like I guess it takes some min-maxing if you really want to get some traction. At least that's how I feel about it. But yeah, it's one of the places where more casual indie developers hang out, I think. Again, if you do mobile games, I think it's pretty much not very useful to do most of the time.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not sure. What about you, Maris? Do you still post stuff?
For myself, no. Like, I am shit with gaining followers, but with other profiles, with the projects we are working on, like, it does gather like hundreds of likes, but the thing is, like, Twitter is weird, in my opinion, because like the audience usually doesn't really follow the developers that much. And you usually interact just with mostly developers and stuff like that. So like those interactions are sometimes like really low quality and stuff. Like, no, like, I mean, conversion rate later on, like when you wanna like convert it like to monetary things, it helps reaching streamers though, in my opinion.
Yeah, another thing that you actually touched is that so you post on Twitter to other developers. That's how it usually is. And if you think that the reaction and likes and stuff will result in some monetary reward, and that's usually not the case, because those people are actually other developers who will not play the game, but they like what you post there. And that's one thing with Twitter and less with other platforms that you should consider. Okay, then about other platforms.
I can add also. I think Twitter is very good for tracking your progress. Then you, after some years, you can see what was first screenshots of, or some rare screenshots that you can't reproduce anymore.
Yeah.
And also can tell that I had a Twitter and there was only technical posts of how I create these blockchain games, and I was banned on Twitter for that.
And did you have any new users from Twitter, or were there only...
No, it was I think several posts, but I can't trust Twitter anymore for that.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a comment on YouTube that TechFi says that Twitter is great for US audience retention in most cases. Europe gamers are more keen on Reddit. What do you think? That's true? I actually don't know.
I don't think so.
What was that statement based on?
I don't know. It just was in the chat. I thought maybe someone can have some background on that statement.
Just anecdotally, I would agree with that. Like, most people I know do use Reddit, and seldom anybody uses Twitter. So anecdotally, yeah, I see some validity there.
Most of the Reddit audience that came to our Steam pages were Americans. When I post on popular subreddits.
Yeah. So let's move on then to other platforms. So YouTube. So I have seen some developers, pretty popular ones, even with millions of followers, who post tutorials and devlogs of their games. But my impression is that they usually concentrate all their time and effort to YouTube and less to the game development. And at one time, I think YouTube becomes a work instead of the actual game. What do you think about YouTube? Is it good for the vlogs?
I think if you can afford a person who edits the videos professionally and actually like a community manager or marketing manager, then I would definitely go for YouTube as the primary source of traffic.
Have you seen any good examples that actually release games?
Released games.
Benny or something like that.
Satisfactory.
Remember those? Oh.
And do they actually actively, like not actively, but did they post devlogs on YouTube?
Yes, and also they had a lot of shit when they went to Epic Exclusive. So
okay,
but they also made a devlog for that and received lots of hateful comments. That's how I discovered them, because it was trending on YouTube.
And how many followers do they have?
The game itself is like huge.
Like, yeah, I know huge. The game, but I think their YouTube channel, how
170,000 subscribers. Like,
okay.
For most of developers, like if we think of this is developer and not like some popular influencer, this is a really good number.
Yeah.
Because people usually don't follow developers, they follow games.
Well, interesting. That means that they actually made some money even with YouTube, not only the game.
I mean, I wouldn't enable ads on my YouTube videos if I was.
Yeah, if I was watching like developer update videos and an ad popped up, I would instantly like nope out.
That's a good point.
That said, though, I think YouTube now forcefully puts ads on. At least I saw some YouTubers tweet it. Is that true? I don't know.
Wasn't that Twitch?
Maybe it was Twitch. Maybe, yeah.
I've heard something about this about YouTube, but I think there was like regarding smaller channels or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was the case. It's for smaller sort of disused channels. YouTube can sort of forcefully monetize unless the creator explicitly opts out.
Okay. Well, then the next one, Twitch. For me, I know only one pretty popular streamer, which is Jonathan Blow. Yanis today posted some other developers. So again, like I think Twitch streaming is also work. Maybe it takes some less effort than YouTube because you don't have to edit the videos. And Jonathan Blow is streaming often. But I don't know how this converts to actually
for some reason I have always viewed like Twitch development streams like as a basically waste of time because you won't make anything like properly like during streaming because you need to interact with people, and if you don't have like a huge audience, like those streams will be boring as heck, and it's more or less like more about like maybe just chilling with people, not about like sharing their stream or their process itself. I don't know.
That's exactly.
I think I agree on the chilling part because that's mostly why I watch developer streams. Is that the chilling part? It's like really cool to like just chill and watch someone create something and just talk in the chat. So definitely the audience needs to be there. Yeah. That said, the streamers I watch is mentioned before. I'm sorry, my daughter in the background. Before like I watch like there's Lana Lux, one streamer that I watch. Then there's Anderson Kev I mentioned. Then there's our own Rock Knight Studios, and also then there's like super small channels. For example, we have Siemens who streams his Diablo type project. I really enjoyed just popping in and just talking to him. It's like super chill and really, really awesome. And for some reason, I also want to do it. Like,
Yeah, though, does it really improve his chances of succeeding with his game?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I don't know, but
like
it
if
does.
it's just a developer that pops into like comment, no, that's not how you use a comma. Does it really improve your chances?
Yeah, a lot of streamers do ban the backseat coding, but what that does do, in my opinion, is it really makes a following for you if you have like I don't know how to say it, like some dedicated fans will be there, right?
Yeah.
I think most of your fans will be programmers just like you. So, I mean, if you're streaming programming, then only people who understand it will kind of be joining in.
That's
So,
interesting too. Stream
I think it's even like that with art. Like even if you stream art, like mostly just artists will join or something like that, and not really the players you want to like get into your stream, like that, to show your thing. It's probably more useful to show like not development streams, but you like playing your game or like introducing new content or stuff like that to your audience. Like Monster Train, if you know the game, did approach this quite nicely because they like mostly stream their game and like development updates and stuff like that. And people in random like Discords I was in like got quite hyped up for those streams. So like things like that might be more useful rather than just streaming development.
And another example is the strategy game. What was it called? You know, about animal communist. What was it called?
The Tooth and Tail?
Yes, Tooth and Tail. Basically, how they started the development, they did Twitch streaming of the multiplayer code that they were implementing. So basically, they were writing multiplayer code and then playing against themselves. And I think in those cases, they kind of gathered the community of people who are interested in the game, in the competitive games. And it worked really well for them based on what they were telling. So I think you can do it, but you need to approach it in a smart and original way. Like, treat your marketing. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So unlike the previous platforms I mentioned, this I think is a bit different because on Twitter or YouTube you can post actual updates, what you have done in previous time. But Twitch is a bit different. At least those streamers that I have seen, they usually, like Rock Knight and Jonathan Blow, they usually stream the development process and less talk about what they did in the previous week. So that's I think a bit different auditory maybe, that want to chill and see work, not actually see the progress. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah.
I have a question. Like, would anyone actually watch Jonathan Blow if he wasn't famous?
Probably not. I don't know.
Yeah, because like it's a big factor with him, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like he gathered the credibility with like his previous projects, and then after that he's just going around ranting in like the conference and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like step 2 when they build engagement. Sorry.
Yeah, so let's move on, and Facebook groups and forums and stuff like that. So I think it's a bit different from Twitter because you actually go and try to target your audience in some groups. But from my experience, what you end up doing is posting updates of your development to other developers who will probably react to the status, but not actually buy the game. So I think Facebook is not so powerful. What do you think? Does it work?
No experience with it.
Probably
even then, like with these like random platforms, I think if you can't actually succeed on them, it's best to use them to funnel them to like one different place where like you can actually like
properly thrive. With Facebook groups, it's like you post something and you get lot of reaction, like I mean lot, like 20 likes maybe, which you cannot achieve on Twitter.
A lot would be like 20K.
It still works the same way as all the Facebook stuff. Like if it gets traction and gets engagement, then you'll get likes. If not, then like you will be buried with 2 or 3 likes.
Facebook groups like that, you always get some likes. Like if you post something on Twitter, you probably get no reaction. On Facebook, 20 likes is like no effort, but that doesn't convert to anything. That's like other developers just putting likes like work. They scroll through everything and just like. And I think.
And what groups are you talking about? Like more specifically, like
there is indie game marketing group. There is indie games and stuff like that. The most popular indie game groups, like with hundreds of thousands of members.
Yeah, like platforms like Facebook seems more for like just targeted ads, like that you pay for. It seems like very rarely I have seen a community that's based in Facebook. Like, I can't even imagine one like proper community that's based in Facebook.
Philomena Schwab, the creator of Drone Simulator and Niche, the domestic survival game, she started on Facebook. She actually posted on, but she did not post on indie game group. She posted on like the cat lover groups and animal lovers groups, and then she started telling about her niche game where you bred cats, and she gathered a lot of following that way based on what she was talking in the presentation that I've attended once. So, but her main point was focus on the social networks that you use, because if you don't use Twitter, then it will really look quite bad, I think. If you have empty Twitter, like a Twitter account that posted in 2017 looks worse than no Twitter account, because it just looks like you're not doing anything. So running social networks is also a burden. So it's better to use the one that you are actually using, and it won't be like a huge deal if you're doing this solo, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, like with every single place you post, like it gets more and more like troublesome. Like that's why, like I guess funneling to one place is the best thing you can do, like for yourself.
Yeah, the thing you mentioned, that posting in groups that are actually your audience, is you have to know how to post and where to post, not just throw in an indie group or it will, or there are none of your audience there. So yeah, that's a good point. Actually going and searching for groups that are concentrated with your audience. Yeah, so let's move on then with Reddit. I think we all have some experience with Reddit, like most of us probably. Vladimir, what do you think?
I think Reddit is, it really kind of random for me, honestly. Yeah, you really need to have an active account history, and you need to post on non-game development related groups to not get banned.
Exactly.
Yeah, so like
Reddit is hard.
Yeah, for introverts it's going to be hell, because I browse it all the time, but I almost never comment. So because I don't want to leave stupid comments or something like, am I right, guys?
Plus there is like, almost nothing I want to interact with there. Like I might upvote, but to actively comment is.
Yeah, that's same for me. So honestly, like if you have a lot of interests, like my friend shares Magic the Gathering stuff there, and when he makes his games, his posts go really well. They get a lot of attention, but yeah, he just actively posts stuff that is not related to his games. Otherwise, I think it's going to be very random, unless you post on very small subreddits that just don't care.
Or like super luck, as you mentioned, like random.
Yeah, well,
or ask your friends to do it. Sorry, go ahead, Elvis.
Yeah, as I mentioned we are now concentrating more on the marketing stuff, but I think Reddit actually can help you with some advice more than the marketing, and validating your idea more. What do you think? Like, is that true?
I'd agree that it helps just as much as like Vladimir mentioned, that like the platform you use most. you probably like most of the platforms we discussed do have like these indie developer groups or like just people. And if you can gain traction, you can gain reactions, and then you can like gather that feedback. So like if Reddit works for you, like I think I would agree, because I have seen some developers that do get like proper feedback and like user interactions and stuff like that from there.
Yeah. So the next one is there is a news section actually on Steam for every game. What do you think about posting there? So one thing I see as maybe a problem is that you actually post to your audience that you have already gathered. So it's more like keeping your audience up to date, not get new audience. But if we talk about getting motivation and milestones and maybe get some advice or help, then I think Steam News is a good place to post. What do you think?
Well, for me, for example, for me, like that is the place where I have gathered the most traction, like Steam itself, like most traction to funnel to web page, and most traction like from those updates. Because like I don't know why, but I don't interact on like other platforms with stuff that much, and Steam organically like features your stuff more and more, like and like funnels things to your page more and more the more like attention it gathers. And like if you sell on Steam, you kind of want that to happen, like you want the platform to like you, so it's like kind of super helpful in my opinion. Like, well, not like I earned millions, but blah blah.
Yeah. So probably only Vladimir here has also published game on Steam. Yeah,
I haven't sold millions, but I think if you post the news, even if only your players mostly see it, it's not exactly this, because when people visit your page, they see the most recent news, and again, it just shows that you continue maintaining game, and it can be an argument to buying it and not thinking that it's super old, etc.
Okay.
Plus, there is one upside to posting news. Even if only your customers see it. If streamers have your game in library and you post big updates, like milestone updates or whatever, like it will like freshen up in their Steam page too. So like they will like see that the game is in active development or has had like some kind of thing happening, and sometimes they like revisit the games based on that.
Yeah. So is Dirk here? I don't see.
Yeah, I'm here. I have used it pretty much for updates on releases. So yeah, that's that. And when there's when there's a new release, I can see in the analytics, I can see that there's some peak in organic looks at the homepage.
Okay. And what about purchases? Does that increase purchases or not?
I haven't checked that out. One thing is purchases. Another thing is wish lists.
Yeah.
So I have no information about these two fields. Well, so, basically, I have been lazy. I haven't checked out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So me too.
It won't change things by itself much, but it's mostly work after players have reached your page, I suppose. So just by posting the news, you're not going to get magical influx of wish lists and.
Well, there can happen thing that Maris said. Somebody reads news, opens the game, and then some other sees that this guy is playing this game or something like that. Maybe, I don't know.
So, but yeah, well, I would like to join the opinion that well, if I want to check out whether a game is dead, if the latest news post is in like 2 years ago, I would call it a dead game.
Yeah, definitely. Like for me, like I went like for half a year or something like that without really posting update posts because I had like post development for a while and like did only development for like stuff that was happening in background. And after half a year, like people were starting like, or I guess like 5 months already, like people were starting to consider the like game dead. Like, so you want to maintain like at least once like a month or 2 months like update schedule or post something at least. Like at least that's what I've seen so far.
Makes sense, yeah.
I don't know how Vladimir thinks about that.
Yeah, I try to post the news at least monthly, like when I was in active development, at least for early access titles. Otherwise, people think your game is abandoned. It's kind of your responsibility to keep the communication and just saying what's going on, even if nothing is going on. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm bad with those nothing is going on posts.
This applies to all. Like if you're freelancing for someone else and you just need to let your client know what's going on. Basically,
not COVID dead yet.
Yeah.
So the next one is probably nobody here has experience with that, but I just added this because that's also a thing, is public Trello board for your development. So I saw some games get some, I don't know if the success is from the Trello board, probably not, but some pretty known games, which I don't remember right now, but I saw, I yesterday or few days ago, I just opened Trello and I started to check all the boards that I am following. And I actually saw there are pretty popular games that I started following years ago. And so there are popular games that do that. They post their development, the development status publicly, and you can actually vote for things that you think that must go into next release. You can see what went into the release, what's the progress of features and stuff like that. So what do you think? Would you consider using Trello? Do you think it could work?
I don't like it. I don't like public roadmaps that you promise or like you give players like to like for decisions, because sometimes your priority shifts with depending on facts that players don't see, and then you're kind of stuck with those sort of promises and then blah blah.
I think it makes sense for hardcore fans, but
yeah,
for bigger companies,
like Dwarf Fortress, Patreon, whatever things like that, like with the projects where people support you monthly.
Basically, if you're a solo indie dev, don't bother with a lot of this stuff that we're discussing. Like, it's cool to have, or pick one. Don't try to do it all at once.
Yeah.
So.
Or when the game is actually released, for example, if you have some sort of new feature that players want. Maybe. But I haven't used Trello for a while.
Yeah, so the next one is people are talking that it works very well. We tried, it didn't work for us, but of course we didn't invest a lot of time for that. But public Discord chat and actually inviting your fans to talk to the developers and maybe do, as Yannis said, backseat programming. And what do you think? Is this a good idea? Should you do that? Would you consider doing that?
Discord is good in my opinion.
Yeah, Discord
you need to gather like certain amount of people and a few people that post instead of you. But once you manage to do that, I think it like lives on its own.
And people are actually pretty happy when you promote them to admins and managers and stuff like that. And they become loyal fans, and they actually attract new players.
Yeah, what Vladimir was about to say, like I interrupted, Miss Kuzi.
Okay, I just wanted to tell that Discord is probably just doesn't cost much to have, like until you get hundreds of players when you need to moderate stuff. But yeah, it's just something that can be in the background, and if you wanted to treat it more of a personal thing, which you can afford when you are a solo developer and not a huge corporation. Like this is a good outlet because then you can share some things that you like dank memes or something. I never do it because I don't want like two people start throwing some racist stuff around. But
That's
yeah,
hot
like
topic nowadays.
if you read the cool book or just watched a decent movie or played a cool game, like this is where I try to share with my fans. Not fans, I hate this word fans for me, but yeah, with the players, I think it just encourages fair and good like interactions and a positive experience and actual bonding like with people if you pursue this. But I think if you're an indie, you kind of need to look for this because those people will be the ones who support you. Yeah, but it's not marketing by itself, like it's the other stuff.
Yeah, it's like a community spot, like in my opinion kind of better than forum, because forum, although it works, like nowadays they are kind of weird. They are more for renting rather than interacting.
Yeah,
like at least on Steam or something like that.
Well, then the last one, other platforms. So under this probably goes Simon's devlog on Pornhub, which was when I first saw that, I thought, damn, that's something really crazy, and I like that idea. But
did he get verified?
I'm not sure if, but as far as I remember, he actually posted a video on Pornhub. But I don't know. I think he threw a link in Facebook with the video, but I'm not sure. Maybe I don't remember. But I think that's an interesting idea.
There is also one important interaction platform that you didn't mention. Like it's less interactive, but like emails and stuff like that. So it's like like it's kind of much bigger than many of the discussed ones too, like for many people.
Yeah. So what forms of email do you think like which one works the best? Do you think like a newsletter?
Mailing list, yes.
Yeah. And so Vladimir, I know you have some experience with that. So does it work? Is it worth it?
I don't do it like because I have 100 subscribers for my mailing list currently, so it's not worth it like per se.
Twitter
but
worth it.
If Discord goes down or like any other platform pretty much goes down, then you won't be able to take like people with you. Mailing list is the only thing that kind of keeps it decentralized. So for me, it's worth it by itself just to have the sort of contact that I can directly email and reach no matter what software they're using, etc. So mailing list is the hardest to build, but I think it's the most worthiest, etc. Yeah. My friends who run marketing stuff, they still try to build mailing lists primarily.
Yeah, plus I've seen some stats in some random places, not sure if they're relevant anymore, that sometimes mailing lists get like people that are not on other platforms also for your like audience and stuff like that. So that's a nice way out if like you want to gather some people who are totally against like using Facebook or Twitter or something.
Yep. There was a good talk about building your fan club, how to use mailing list or something like that in the previous GDC 2019. And I think it's worth watching if you actually consider doing game marketing seriously and doing it long term, because this will something that builds over time.
A bit of off topic. Elvis, I think we lost your presentation.
We'll just look at LCS statute.
The blue screen.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said, but that's okay. I lost connection to my headphones, but so you continue discussing email, or you move to other? Yeah. What do you think about Patreon? Maris mentioned. Do you think that's a good platform to post updates and maybe even make money from that? No opinion?
I think his microphone is down.
Oh.
Well, I don't know anything about Patreon, but I have seen people just using Patreon, like buy me coffee stuff with no real reward. Just, hey, I'm making games. If you want to support me, you can subscribe at Patreon. That's a thing, I guess.
I mean, I've heard of it, but does that really work for anyone? Like, I don't think I've know anyone personally who has benefited from that.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
Do you hear me?
Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, probably Dwarf Fortress.
Also a lot of
yeah
adult games.
Yeah, so I mostly follow engine developers, and there are actually some pretty popular engine developers that it's also game development and also a product, but
oh yeah, Godot like takes $10K dollars
Yeah.
a month or something like that from Patreon.
yeah, there are other engine developers too. So that's kind of maybe one specific type of product that it works for, but I'm not sure if it works for projects that you plan to actually make money from. For example, if you plan to make some Steam game and earning money during the development, and then I don't know how good it looks to developers paying you for development, and then even if you get the game for free on Steam as a subscriber, still I don't think that's ethical to charge money while developing and then another time on Steam. I don't know.
Are you talking about Patreon still?
Yeah.
I've seen multiple projects that are successful by that shit. Like it's like basically giving people option to subscribe to your game as a service, like as a more like multi-month thing. Like there was this Pokemon game recently. Forgot how it called. Like it was, well, whatever. That was like doing these patterns, and like they were like bringing in good money like for development and stuff like that. You can't rely on that happening like as a fact. But if you do manage to gather enough audience and like your game is in development and people are ready like to support it, like I don't see bad things about it. Plus many developers do like these smaller Patreons where they share assets and stuff like that for other developers. So
Yeah, so any other platforms maybe?
Imager.
Oh.
Well, there was Craig Zakog at October. Well, we tested to get. Well, he's the master of handling Imager, but in short, well, we had some fun with Imager as well together. But basically, it's very good for to use GIFs there, or GIFs. I'm not sure which is the correct pronunciation. So, and but in Imager takes a bit more time because people are more prone to read text there. Therefore, you need basically you need to create some sort of story for each post.
Yeah, you need a good story when you post stuff there.
Kind of surprising, like that you read text there.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that.
It started as a hosting for Reddit images, but then it kind of turned out into social network by itself. We used it for the games too. We get some wish lists from there, but overall I found the conversions from those are quite negligible, to be honest. And I've seen other games gather lots of, like more than 100K wish lists, mostly by posting on Imgur, which is insane, I think. But
quite
they
big.
sold like less than Merchant of the Skies.
Oh.
So.
Oh, I think I remember. Like you're talking about one of those recent examples of like hundreds of
I'm
thousands.
not gonna
of
name
wishlist.
anyone. Like I just
There,
found
there
it,
was
like,
this one big game that they themselves I think posted about it. Like if you remember.
I remember, but I'm going to tell you privately, so to keep the
Okay,
intrigue.
cool. Yeah. Suspense.
Yeah.
Well, okay then. So what do you think about this doing meetups like that and having a chat at the end of the meetup about some topic? Do you think we should continue? And
Yes.
I mean, you're essentially asking people who participated here.
Yeah.
Like we're quite biased, you know.
we might as well make a podcast.
Like, two average dudes with no opinions. Like, let's make a podcast.
Why the heck not? Because in a way, like this was like a micro podcast.
Yeah.
But I really like this. Actually, it's kind of a bit different, and we can talk about stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
It was nice.
Okay, then let's ask others what they think. Is it fun to watch? Maybe they would like to participate, and
somebody's watching.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think doing a poll for the whole, in the association chats would be less biased, right?
Right.
So 11 people are now watching on YouTube. So yeah.
Hello, YouTube.
Yeah. So well, thank you all for participating, and thank you all for watching, and see you in Gamedev Meetup 93 in February. I don't know actually which date, but sometime in February. Then see you. Bye.
See you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.